Hey everyone, this is a tutorial for how to install Windows 11, I think like the fastest way on a virtual machine without having to tweak or customize your VM to include things like Secure Boot and TPM, and then it also shows you how to get it up and running and set up without a Microsoft account. So this is tailored towards people who are using a virtual machine, but this should also work for users who just want to set up Microsoft Windows on their computer without having to link a Microsoft account. So I will include a link in the description for where you can skip to for just how to set it up without a Microsoft account, but the first bit is going to be bypassing everything to get it up and running on a virtual machine. So the first step for most people is just going to be acquiring the ISO file or the disk image for Windows 11. So I've got this link here. I will include this in the description, but you just have to download the Windows 11 or 10 ISO for your device architecture, and it's a larger file, so it should take a bit. And once you've acquired your ISO file, you can open up your VM software. I'm using GNOME boxes, just as the easiest for my distribution, but you can use whatever software. It should be pretty straightforward. And you're going to create your ISO from your file. Name it whatever you want. You want to be setting it to UEFI. And then you need at least 4 gigabytes of memory and I believe 52 gigabytes of storage. I'm just going to use 60. That's a nice whole number. We can set that up. Once you've got that up and running, you should see a similar screen to what I have now. And we're just going to let that load for a while. So once you've figured that out, you're going to see this screen. I mean, depending on your distribution or language, it might be a little different. But what we're going to go from here is we're going to do Shift F10, and we're going to open the command prompt. And then in here, you can type in regedit. Just open the registry editor. And then once you're in here, you're going to want to navigate on the left side here to HKey_local machine. You can hit the drop down there, go to System, and Setup. And now once we found Setup here, right click it, hit New, Key, and we're going to name this key lab config here. And it should open this window with lab config in it. And then now we have to add 5 registry keys. So we're going to have to add 5 different entries in here, and they're all going to be dword 32-bit values. So what you're going to do is you're going to right click, new will pop up, and you're going to find dword right here. The first one is going to be called BypassCPUCheck. Next one called BypassRAMCheck. Third one, BypassTPMCheck. BypassStorageCheck. And the final one is BypassSecureBootCheck. I'll include these in the description for anyone who wants to copy and paste. And then what we're going to do is click each one, modify, and just set all the values to 1. You don't have to worry about changing it from hexadecimal to binary or decimal. It doesn't matter too much. So yep, just right click each one, modify, and make sure they are all set to 1. Your screen should look like this by the time you're done. Once you've done that, you can close this, and we can continue with the installation. You just can select I don't have a product key. And you'll wait a bit. So choose your installation. I'm just going to go with Windows Home. Accept all the agreements. Continue with the setup as you would normally. If you're using a VM, you should see the disk you set up in your provider. If not, it'll just be whatever disk is on your machine. Choose whatever disk you want. As you can see, it says ready to install, and if you didn't properly edit the registry commands as earlier, here would say secure boot not enabled, or not enough storage, or TPM 2.0 not enabled, but since we have done all the appropriate registry edits, then we can continue with it. So this process takes quite a bit after this. It's going to restart, so I won't show you this whole thing. Once you've waded through all that, you should see a screen that looks just like this. I'm going to select Canada, because that's where I'm located, but it shouldn't matter too much. Now, there's going to be two ways for you to go about bypassing the Microsoft account requirement. So the first way, and I think this is the most common now, is you're going to, like we did before, is you're going to open the command prompt, and you're going to type this in. It's going to be start ms-cxh. Oh, shoot. You're going to type this, start ms-cxh local only, and like everything else, this will be included in the description if you just want to copy and paste that. And you should be able to just hit enter, and then you can create a user for this PC. So I'm just going to call this main, type in a password, and then you can set your security questions. Now I paused so that the security questions were visible, but once you've hit enter there, you're going to see this setup screen, and it'll take another couple minutes, so I'll wait for that to finish. Once that's done, you'll see this screen. I usually just select no on all this stuff. But if you're all about data collection, you can let them do it, and then there you go. You've got your distribution set up. This way I've found is the quickest, but if it doesn't work for you, then I've got another method that you can swap to, and I'll switch there in a second. So for the second method, which I found works on older versions, so they haven't implemented the previous command, but usually it's deprecated. You just go through the setup like you did before. Just name your device whatever you want. For me, it's Fedora, Windows, Dev. Windows Dev. Eventually, you will come to a screen where it requires you to sign in with a Microsoft account. Now, since we don't have a Microsoft account here, we're going to do the same thing as before. Shift F10. It's going to open the command prompt, and you're going to type in this command here. So it's going to be netsh interface show interface. This. And then you will see your interface name. Now you're looking for this here, whatever it is. For me, it's just Ethernet because I'm on my VM. But for you, it might be something different. So then type in this command. So netsh interface again, set interface, and then in quotations put your adapter name. So mine's Ethernet, and admin equals disable. What you're doing here is you're just disabling the internet for this, so it can't. So once you've done that, you're going to type in this command. Now this is going to be all caps OOBE double backslash bypass NRO, and like everything else, I will include all of these commands in the description. And then you can hit enter, and it's just going to restart your computer. Once it's restarted, you can go through the setup steps as before. I know we've done this a few times now, but once it's over, it should prompt us with a way to create a local account. So it sees here that our internet is not connected. You can just select I don't have internet, and then now since you don't have internet, it can't authorize a Microsoft account, so you can just set up your computer with a local account the same way you did before. Set up your security questions. I'm going to pause for here. And then you're at the same place as before, where you can choose not to send all your data to Microsoft. And then after this, you should be good. Everything will be set up with a local account, and you can use your computer without a Microsoft account or the internet. But once we get back, you have to re-enable your internet, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Now you should have your Windows installation working again, and we can just go back into the command prompt. And then you're going to enter the same command as before, so netsh interface set interface Ethernet admin equals enable. Use the Linux. You just have to run command prompt as an administrator here. You're gonna right click, run as administrator. Yes, and then you should be able to do interface and that should re-enable your internet. And as you see in the bottom right, we've got our Ethernet show up, and then if I go here, God, I hate Microsoft. Should have access to the internet and everything should be good. So now the first method is the easier method, but for whatever reason, if you can't because of your whichever image you have of Windows or whatever other issues you may come to, this second method also works out, and then now you have your Windows set up without a Microsoft account logged in. You can see our main user is just a local account. And yeah, that's all. If you have any questions, let me know. And have a nice day, morning, evening, whatever. Bye bye.